Hello everybody. I'm speaking to you today not from my home on the Aran Islands, but from a place where I spent all my childhood summers growing up, and that's on a beach on the north coast, on the coast north of Dublin City. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place where we got up in the morning, put on our shorts, stayed on our bare feet and ran out down onto the beach and spent our days there. And I can remember growing up that underneath this little wooden house where we spent the summers, the rabbits used to nest in their burrows and come out. We'd play with the little bunny baby rabbits. And also we had grasshoppers jumping around in the grass, so wonderful wildlife all around us. Nowadays we have the house sparrows behind me here. They're nesting in the roof just underneath the gutters there. They get in underneath the gutters into the roof. Sadly, the house sparrows in Ireland are reducing in numbers, maybe because they haven't the type of houses there where they can crawl in under the roof into the attic and nest there. But anyway, we're happy to have them here. Also, when I look out here on my left, I can see Rockabill Island, which is a wonderful lighthouse that's been there all through my childhood, you know, flashing its light during the dark of night, and during the fog you'd hear the woof, 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 in order to sort of warn the ships of the rock that was endangering them. Nowadays I've discovered that Rockabill Island is a haven for terns nesting, and I think it was discovered maybe 20 or 30 years ago that terns were nesting there, but only very few of them. And they'd also discovered that the roseate tern, which is a particularly rare form of tern, was nesting there. And but 30 years ago there were only about 120 pairs nesting there, and the whole species was in danger. Nowadays volunteers go out and live there in the lighthouse keeper's house, and they look after the terns while they're nesting all summer. They've cleaned away all the vegetation, they've put out nesting boxes, they ring all the young birds, so they do a great job. And now there's thousands of roseate terns nesting there, so they really have come back. Other terns nest there too, the Arctic tern and the common tern, but as the name implies, they are a bit more common. Then over on my right, we have Lambay Island, a great big island, even though only about 7 people live on it, and the rest of the island is just left to nature and to wilderness. And it's a wonderful place again for the nesting of seabirds. In recent years, the gannets have started to nest there, and originally there were just a few hundred pairs. Now I think there are thousands of pairs, because when I look at this island towards the left side of it there, the very end of it, it's almost covered in white. And when you get up close through the binoculars or your telescope, you can see that actually they are the gannets nesting there. So there must be thousands of pairs there now. Also around the back of the island, which you'd have to go around the other side to see, you'll see puffins nesting there, which are a wonderful, colourful bird, and many other forms of auk, especially the guillemot. According to one survey, there are up to 100,000 auks nesting on the far side of Lambay, and about half of those are guillemots. These are all birds that live on the sea and never come to land except during the nesting season. So the only chance we get to see them is during the nesting season, which we're coming to the end of now, but which we can still get a chance to see. So just to put all that in context, you know, our Celtic tradition teaches us that we can find the divine in nature. And I grew up here every summer, and I delighted in nature and delighted in everything that I saw. But now I understand that that is an avenue to the divine. And I now understand that whenever I experience mystery or wonder or the magic of nature, I'm getting in touch with something beyond myself. And that's what the Celtic tradition has taught me. And so I invite you to discover the magic and wonders of nature around where you live, and to notice in that you're being drawn into the presence of the divine.